I think we could do that. So that was an interesting discussion that I had with longtime listener and very good friend, Sinead. Of course she's Irish. Her name's Sinead. Charlotte, they found her body close to where the van was seen by that one couple. Yeah. Just 50 miles of land in Wyoming that they wouldn't be able to get a jury, so the case potentially gets thrown out. Very few crimes happen there. The zone of danger. I was not familiar with that, Jill. I will have to look that up. Moving on, I do want to talk about something that I just saw in the news today, and this had to do with this guy Jeremy Hardison in Tennessee, Hardison. He was convicted of murder recently in the state of Tennessee for a murder that he committed back in September of 2017. Well, now that he's been convicted, it is now believed he could be responsible for 3 people's disappearances, all of them being roommates. Now, how I missed back in 2017 that 3 people who were roommates all went missing at the same time, I don't know. None of these people's names sound familiar to me at all, but they all are on the Charlie Project. I looked it up. Their names are William Inkelberger, or Inkelbarger, Inklebargr, Bonnie Drain, Drane, and Brenda Carroll, Carroll. And they were all roommates living together. They all went missing in late December of 2017. And it is believed that this Jeremy Hardison, who was convicted of a murder that's not connected to these 3 people, is responsible for all of their disappearances. And it seems somehow that he made them all disappear at the same time. And they are all still missing. These are still 3 unsolved disappearances. Once again, how I missed that, I don't know. Usually a group of people going missing at one time, that's usually going to catch my attention, but maybe things were different back in 2017. Maybe I'm just a little more up on my business now. But if you want to look those up, they are on the Charlie Project. Once again, William Inkelbarger, Bonnie Drain, and Brenda Carroll. They all went missing late December 2017. They all 3 seemingly had drug issues, but it also seems they all 3 did know Jeremy. And I guess there is reason to believe Jeremy successfully made all 3 of them disappear. Now, what does that mean? Where could they be? How could one guy make 3 people disappear and successfully get rid of their remains, never to be seen again? I'm going to have to think about that one. Certainly so. But I'd not heard about all of this before, so I'm guessing many of you hadn't either. So maybe you want to check that out. Let's see, Jill 50. Okay, so I'm caught up on all of the comments that everybody has made. So let's move on. No more questions or anything. So let's move on to, is anything up here? Hold on one second. No one's got all that. Got all that done. Okay. Let's talk about Friday's episode. We're going back to West Virginia. Of course, we went to West Virginia last year with the disappearance of Brian Cook. We'll be going back there again this Friday to Ripley, West Virginia. It's the disappearance of Nick Shinn, Shinn. He's an 18-year-old. This happened on June 15th of 2003. So once again, we're going back quite a ways, 18 years. We went back 19 years for Laverta Sorrells, and so we're going back 18 years for this one. And his aunt, Nikki Salser, will be the guest. The name of the episode, the title of it is It's Complicated. And the reason the title is this. A lot of, just like maybe like Brenda Sika's from a couple weeks ago, a lot of different possibilities with Nicholas's disappearance. The day that he disappeared, he was over in an apartment. And in that apartment lived a longtime friend of his. His name is Joey. But Joey was roommates with a guy named Jonathan. And Nicholas and Jonathan had issues a few years before this disappearance date. And Nicholas went over there, and there were two young women there. I don't know how I think I called them. I alternated between girls and young women in the episode. I don't know if they were, I'm thinking they were all like around 16, 17, 18, 19. So young women. And Nicholas was interested in one of them, but she was giving more attention to Jonathan. And what Joey says, his story, and once again, good friend of Nick's, is that Nicholas wanted to talk to him. Nicholas looked a little troubled about what was going on with them all hanging out and Holly being with this girl, Holly being with this other guy. And Joey said, you know what? I'm going to be, taking a nap here. We can talk about it later. He was tired. And the story goes is that Nicholas went back down the stairs of this apartment, went out the front door, never to be seen again. Now, at the time, there was a local creek, maybe a little bit like Crystal Bailey's disappearance, that was running high, running fast. And, there was the idea, did Nicholas commit suicide by jumping in there? And I'm going to be doing a YouTube video for this location to show you this. But on the other hand, could it be that Joey really did take this nap and Nicholas went down there and did something happen between being that Jonathan and Nicholas already had a history anyway, and then you get a love triangle with this girl? Could something have happened there and some people have kept their mouths shut all this time? So there are a lot of different possibilities for this disappearance. But I'm going to once again be doing a YouTube video to show you where this apartment is, some of the locations, areas mentioned in the interview that I did with Nicholas's aunt, Nikki Salser. Yeah, Derek says, hi, sorry I haven't chimed in. I've been following the Gabby Petito case very closely. I think he's either hiding. Yeah, well, certainly Derek is one of the two. Certainly either one. Yeah. Charlie, Cherie says zone of death, zone of danger, zone of death. I'm going to have to, this is all new to me. Jill says it. Now you say it, Cherie. I've not seen that, so I'll have to look it up. But that is the disappearance for this Friday. The disappearance of Nicholas Shinn, Ripley, West Virginia, June 15th, 2003. His aunt, Nikki Salser, will be the guest. And the title of the episode is called It's Complicated. This episode's not quite 2 hours. I think it's an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. But there'll be an accompanying YouTube video. So that's all I have for you tonight for this live show for September 22nd of 2021. So what do? We talked about a little bit of disc golf. Me going to see my sports psychologist today, which I'm getting a lot out of that. Got a lot of dental work ahead of me that's going to be a bit expensive, and that's why I'm putting it on a payment plan. 1 tooth over here, 2 teeth over here. Talked about the hot sauces that I got from the Hot Ones. Check that YouTube channel out. It's called We Must Feast or something like that. But just do a search for Hot Ones on YouTube. You'll find it. Somebody hit my Begaball Mega Millions money last night, but Powerball is going to be happening here in 6 minutes. The Laverta Sorrell poll talked about me going to Colorado to testify. Season 2, Volume 4 of the Unfound book series will be coming out. Read the statement from Podomatic for any of you who have been having download problems, art problems. Talked about the downloads in general, how they've been crazy. Have a new Unfound now that will be coming out soon. Talked about Gabby Petito, talked about John Johnson, talked about this guy who seemingly is responsible for 3 disappearances in the state of Tennessee. Took a great question from Jasmine and some questions from you, and then finished it up with this Friday's episode. That's all I have. Great show tonight. Had some new viewers here tonight.